Hello, and welcome to the Convo presented by Leadership Indianapolis. I am Ebony Chappelle, Manager of Programs and Communications, and today I am talking with Ms. Deb Hallberg, who is the CEO of Pass the Torch for Women. Hi, Deb, how are you?
Hi, Ebony. It's so great to see you and to be here.
Yes, it's great to have you. Good to catch up with you as well. So, thank you so much for your time. So, tell us a little bit about Pass the Torch for Women for people that aren't aware of this organization and the work you do.
Oh, sure. Well, Pass the Torch for Women Foundation has actually been around for about 6 years, but we launched with a program to help the non-traditional adult female students. But just in just a snippet, it's easier to say that we make a positive impact for a woman every single day through mentoring, connecting, and programming. And it's we give women hope to make a better wage, to be able to provide more for their families, and to live above the poverty line for those non-traditional adult female students who many are from impoverished communities. But women that are a developing professional that's on that early in her career and trying to navigate what that looks like. You don't learn that in college. You have to learn that through life. And so through programs and mentoring, we have our hand out to help them navigate that, and by providing, again, programs and those one-on-one mentoring relationships. So we are an organization that no matter where you are in your career, you can plug in and you can remain and pass your torch for as long as you want to.
That is so awesome. And I had an opportunity a couple of years ago. You had invited me to the Arts Garden for one
Mhm.
of your programs, and I was able to hear the stories of some of these women and walk around and look at the displays. They had these
Mhm.
poster boards that kind of showcase this is what I want out of my life. And I just thought it was so powerful. Because, like you mentioned, there's a lot of times where women don't know how to navigate all of this. They don't know what to do because it's not a skill that anybody teaches you. You just have to
Mhm.
figure it out. Um, but and unfortunately, it leaves a lot of people out of opportunities because they don't know what's out there and they don't know what's possible. I wondered if you could give us an example of one of the women that maybe you've worked with, that a story that just really impacted you.
Sure. I worked with one of my mentees was a young woman who was going to, let's see, she went to Ivy Tech and then she transferred to IUPUI. And her ultimate goal is to be a Supreme Court justice. Um, I have no doubt that she will accomplish that. So I'm excited about that. But she was she was having trouble with just trying. She looked at everything on a big picture and was having difficulty just breaking down to focus on what she needed to do in the next 6 months instead of the next 2 years. And she ultimately got an internship in Washington, D.C., and got there, arrived safely, and 2 weeks later, the government shut down. So here she was living in some housing that was provided through the university with no job. No idea when this internship in the Judiciary Department was going to open up and be available. So fortunately, because I had worked at Barnes and Thornburg years ago, I was able to make a couple of calls, and Barnes and Thornburg hired her to work in that interim in the Washington D.C. office. So she got to meet a lot of attorneys that were doing in that political arena and practicing law in those areas, and lobbyists, it was a great experience for her. And then once the government opened back up, then she went back to her position, her internship. And it was, she and I were texting, and she called and she said, Deb, I don't know what to do. Here I am. What do you think I should do? And it was just that, I was fortunate enough to know, or to be able to provide some alternative for her. But that's what we ask our mentors to do. It's sharing their wisdom and knowledge and your connections to help these women navigate, again, challenges, unforeseen challenges and barriers that pop up. And now she's doing great. She has graduated, going to take the LSAT, her LSAT, to go to law school. And I'm so proud of her because she has real grit. And she is a first-generation college student. And so this is all new. She doesn't have anyone in her family to help her navigate that. And so she's had other mentors that continue to do that. So, yeah.
That is beautiful.
Well, and this year we were able to create a need-based fund for those women, those non-traditional adult female students who, because of COVID, couldn't pay their rent, had utility bills, car repairs, some taxes, income taxes due. And so we were able to ease some of that pain for them and that worry, that stress, to help them pay some of their bills. So, and then the great thing about that, Ebony, is then after they go through our program, the modules, and then become mentees, and then have gone through that program a couple of times, then they're wanting to know, well, when do I get to pay it back?
Yeah.
When can I be a mentor? Yes, absolutely, because we want you to stay in the pipeline. It's not one and done or two and done. This is forever if you choose it to be. We're going to be there to help you the whole way. So I think that's the beauty of this, is we are always there, no matter where you are in your career.
That is incredible. And, it is so helpful to have people, walk alongside you as you're going through this journey, because we all know it's no straight line. Sometimes your career just takes all sorts of twists and changes. So that's so lovely. Thank you for sharing that. And speaking of, I know that you have gone through your own journey of navigating. You mentioned Barnes and Thornburg. You had worked in law for several years before transitioning to become a nonprofit CEO. What was that like for you, that journey of transitioning, and what was it that made you want to make that change?
I had been in the legal field for most of my career, and mainly working with men, because it is a male-dominated industry. And my passion was really helping women, younger women, achieve success through connecting them or advising them, making introductions, via connections, but just to try to get them on boards. And I had what I called my chicks, a pool of women that I would talk with, or that would reach out, and that I informally mentored. And we went through family deaths, divorce, marriage, multiple births, just everything, being fired, trying to find a new job. And so you think of it, you name it, and I've been through that with with a young woman. And I had always said, if I could just put up a kiosk on the corner and just connect to people all day and share with them whatever, a bit of wisdom, I would be so happy. I loved working at Barnes and Thornburg, but it was just, I got to the point where I felt there's got to be more to life, making a positive impact instead of helping people make more money. I wanted to make a difference in somebody's life. I had been a volunteer mentor with Pass the Torch. I knew I didn't want to go to another law firm. I knew what I didn't want, but I wasn't sure what I truly wanted. And then the opportunity came up. There was the opening at Pass the Torch. Someone convinced me to apply because I got in my own way and did what I tell women not to do. And so went through that process and was very fortunate that the selection committee had picked me, chose me. It was, I was thrilled, and then I panicked, okay, now what do I do? Okay, you got it. Now what do you do? So it entirely different atmosphere. It was one of my biggest challenges was learning to speak women or female because I
Tell
was,
me more about that. Yeah.
well, because I had worked with men for so many years, you have to learn that man speak. They've got like just a few minutes of your time, be direct, no fluff, no, you don't need to make them feel good or anything. Tell them what you want and get out of their office. Well, women are not like that. And so it was, I had to just kind of rein some of that in, being so direct. I just had to massage it a little bit. I'm still direct. I just have to learn and continue to practice massaging and tempering that a little bit. But absolutely love what the foundation does. I love my job. I love making that positive impact for women through conversations like this. It may not be directly with them, but it's through conversations and meetings that spread the word about the opportunities and who we serve. Women need this more now than ever because of COVID. Women have lost ground as to where they are, where we were before COVID. And now we're taking on more of what's going on from home and so much more responsibility. So in some cases, women have had to step back from their professional roles to manage all this other stuff. So it's going to take a long time, and I mean years, to get back, depending on how long we're in the situation we're in now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Deb, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you spending this time with us to have this conversation. And yeah, all the best to you and Pass the Torch for
Well,
Women as we move
oh,
forward.
well, thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
And it is just so great to connect with you again and really appreciate this opportunity. So thank you as well for this.
You're very welcome. And thank you to each and every one of you for tuning into the Convo. Have a great day and a positive week.